Okay. So, something I wanted to talk about today because it's on my mind, photography over 50 or doing anything over 50 these days, but specifically photography. I turned 50 this year and I really honestly didn't think much about it. And recently I started to think more and more about it in terms of my work and still my hobby, photography. So, the reason why I feel like it's important to think about this and to talk about this is because I feel like I found photography kind of late in life. I was in my, early 30s, and I really didn't know probably till I was close to 40 that this was really the way I wanted to actually, you know, go through life pursuing, that this was really going to be something I was passionate about. I probably knew, but I just really didn't think about it until I got a little older. And I guess we tend to think about things more as we get older. But this is something I've just been thinking about lately, especially after a photo shoot I had yesterday. It was about 4 hours and it was pretty physically intensive, just the moving of gear and everything else. And I also started to think about, you know, how I feel I'm starting to really come into work that I enjoy not only creating, but I enjoy looking back at. And let me explain that. For a long time now, I've created, and recently on a podcast interview, one of the interviewers asked me, "What's your favorite thing you've shot in the last year or two?" And I was very hesitant to answer because the truth is, I usually after 6 months or so would look back and go, "Ugh, why did I shoot that? Or how did I like that? Why did I shoot it this way? Why did I light it this way? What was I thinking? I should have done this or I should have done that." And I've just, I think, come to accept that as sort of the photographer or artist curse. I don't like self applying the word artist still. After 18 years in this, I still feel like not an artist, I guess. I don't know. Imposter syndrome, sure. But anyway, I digress. So, photography in the later years, just thinking about how the equipment has changed and gotten lighter, that's been such a huge help. But also thinking about sports. I was never a sports fan. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I didn't play sports. I played Nintendo. So I heard someone mention the other day when talking about sports, well, you want to train twice as hard as you play. That way, when you play, it's not that difficult. And something sort of registered with me in thinking about how we take photographs and how we shoot. And especially if you cover like events such as weddings, and anyone that shot weddings and events know they can be pretty physically demanding, mentally demanding, sometimes emotionally. But the main thing I was thinking about was the physicality of everything. And I started to think about, wow, so that's why we shoot so much. So many photographs I've taken in the last 18 years that'll never be seen. So many photo shoots that we did for the sake of doing them and not even realizing what was happening is it was training and just training over and over again. And maybe this, of course, you're like, well, duh. Yeah, what else are you doing? But I don't think it really dawned on me that we really needed this type of training, just repetitive, just go out, walk, shoot, and just being physically more mobile than sitting here behind the computer editing and doing all the other things you have to do. For people that think that photographers just take photos all the time, I would say, 20% of our time is actually spent doing photos. The other 80%, we're dealing with building issues. We're dealing with finding stuff to fill out the studio. We're dealing with talking to clients, editing, book work, taxes, everything else you can imagine that's not as fun as the one thing we would much rather be doing. and that's standing behind the camera. So, just a thought that I had, and I wanted to sit down and talk about it. What do you guys think? Do you think about this? Have you found photography late in life or anything else like that you're passionate about? I don't want to be pessimistic about it, but it does sort of feel like I found something and got extremely passionate about it, and then suddenly woke up and went, I don't have all the time in the world. I've got to get busy. Good thing, bad thing, sort of double-edged sword. But just something I was thinking about, especially after having, one of those shoots where you're so excited, everything went so well, but you wake up the next morning and your body goes, hey, guess what? You're old and I'm going to hurt you. So just something I was thinking about. Thought I'd get on here, talk to you guys. There's been so much response to a couple of videos I've recently done. I really appreciate all the amazing comments and thumbs up and subscribers, new subs. Thanks so much. You guys can see there's a lot of old content on here where it goes all the way back to when I used to shoot weddings, and I'm still a registered drone pilot, but I don't get to do hardly as much of that as I would like to. I do have some footage I would like to put on here that hit the cutting room floor from a recent short film, and I might get to share that with you guys here soon. Also, heads up, I'm about to do some videos and go through and tell some stories behind some more of the photographs that we've recently taken in New York and other places. So I hope you guys enjoy that kind of content. Is there something else you want to talk about in photography specifically? Let me know. I look forward to hearing you guys, and I will see you on the next one.